Welcome in to Fansided, partnered with Special Olympics, bring you unified coverage right here from Radio Row in New Orleans. I am Sterling Holmes, joined with Malcom yet again, second year in a row for me doing this with you. This is your third year?
Yep, my third year in a row, Sterling. Absolutely correct.
You're the man teaching me what to do down here on Radio Row.
Absolutely.
What have you taken away so far? Because we have so much to get into, so many great guests all week long. We will be here until Friday.
Right.
You're going to be here for longer than I am. You're going to have more fun than me, Malcom.
Right.
Okay?
I mean, let's get into last night with opening night. I mean, at Caesars Superdome, it was chaos galore with all the media outlets last night. I mean, trying to get the Eagles interviews last night. But once the Eagles players left, it was smooth sailing from there. We got to interview all the Chiefs players last night. I mean, opening night was just tremendous last night.
Malcom, you had a chance to talk with Travis Kelce, didn't you?
I did.
Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. Malcom was a madman out there, able to get to all those guys.
Yeah,
fighting off the scrums. Malcom throwing elbows, saying, "It's my spot."
Right. Get into my spot, you know, and just being there, you know, and just trying to get those questions, because as a member of the media, you know, it's like you gotta just keep trying, you know, like a lot of times you gotta just shove elbows a little bit, you know, but you gotta get your question there. As long as you get it in there, you're good.
What was your favorite question, favorite person you talked to last night on opening night?
If I had to choose my favorite from last night, Sterling, I would have to say Adam Schefter. I was able to get an interview with ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter last night, and he was just genuine with all his responses that I asked him last night. He was just he was ideal last night.
Did you ask him about Chiefs versus Eagles?
I did not.
Oh, Malcom, smart man.
I did not.
Don't want to ruffle any feathers with Adam too early, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to do that so early on.
Well, Malcom, I'm very excited because we have a great show all week, but today is going to be a great start to Radio Row right down here in New Orleans. We'll talk with Will Hernandez. We'll talk with Randy Grimes. Going to be a lot of fun doing this with you. Is there someone that you're most looking forward to this week speaking with?
I'm looking forward to Vince Wilfork tomorrow.
Oh, man. Do you think he's going to have the overalls on?
I would love to see him in the overalls, but, you know,
too.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to him. I'm looking forward to Justin Pugh. I'm looking forward to Drew Brees on Friday.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Malcom talking to Drew Brees on Friday. I believe you and I actually had a chance to sit down with him last year.
We did.
Just a very intelligent, gives so many great answers.
Yeah, I loved his insight a year ago as well. You know, just sitting down, chatting with him, and you know, he's just a really genuine guy.
Yeah.
You know, and he's really down to earth. You know, which is really, really cool when you're doing these sort of interviews.
Yeah, and you'll have a great chance to go one-on-one with him and get some great insight.
I can't wait.
All right, this is very early in the week, so we're doing this right now on Tuesday, okay?
Okay.
So it's okay if your feelings or thought process changes, but early on Tuesday, as we're here in New Orleans, what is your feeling leading up to this Super Bowl? Who do you have, Chiefs, Eagles, and why?
So I have the Chiefs gain the 3-peat for the first time ever, and to me
Smart man, Malcom.
And to me, the game plan is going to be Coach Spagnuolo trying to slow down and neutralize Saquon Barkley. That's going to be the number one key. If the Chiefs are able to just try to neutralize Saquon Barkley early on, not allow him to go wild, I know it's going to be hard to do, but you know, Coach Spags is the guy to do it. And the Chiefs, I love how they are defensively. Their defense is kind of like interviewing Spags last night as well on opening night. He said his defense is not really unique, but they find ways to get the job done. So Sterling, I'm going Chiefs here.
I love that.
Yeah.
You hear that? Malcom says Chiefs. If Malcom says Chiefs, it's going to happen.
Yes, it is.
You said Chiefs last year too, didn't you?
I did.
Did you say Chiefs the year prior?
I did.
Malcom is the man.
And this is a rematch 2 years ago. And if you remember the game in Arizona, it was a 3-point win by the Chiefs, 38-35.
Is there a specific matchup you're looking forward to most when Kansas City and the Eagles face off?
Yeah, I am looking forward to the defense of Kansas City, like Trent McDuffie trying to slow down Saquon Barkley. I'm looking forward to Justin Reid just getting after Jalen Hurts. So to me, it's gonna be a chess match between Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, and Spags for Kansas City. So To me, it's going to be which coordinator can figure out a way to slow down the other team. And as well, the Chiefs, they know how to score points, and Eagles know how to score points. But to me, it's going to be who can create a turnover.
Yeah.
That, to me, is going to be the deciding factor of who wins this game.
And that's what it was 2 years ago when it was Jalen Hurts who dropped the ball.
Right.
Nick Bolton takes it back for a touchdown.
Exactly.
Mizzou alum Nick Bolton had a nice chance to talk with him last night. That will be dropping a little bit later on as well with Stacking the Box. And
I want to ask
Matic.
you, Sterling, what stood out to you about opening night last night?
Oh, man, great question. There were so many people. What was nice, actually, we're mostly Kansas City here, right?
Right.
So it does help that the Chiefs went second. It thinned out a little bit. You had to outlast the majority of the crowd.
Right.
People's feet were hurting. Knees were hurting.
Yeah.
People getting shin splints. Okay, media is very difficult.
Right.
It's a very hard life.
Right. I know.
But Malcolm and I, we were troopers. We stayed out there. 21,765 steps later for me, we did it. And so for me, it was the excitement that permeated and lasted throughout the entire night. And what I will say is I think a lot of the Chiefs players, the younger ones really enjoy this. But I don't think the older ones took it for granted. I do think there was a difference. Not all.
With the veterans?
But between the Eagles and the Chiefs and some of their answers.
Right.
Not all of them, but I think the Eagles were a little bit more reserved. I think the Eagles have, at least this current iteration, a lot of these guys, Lane Johnson excluded and Brandon Graham, they've not won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And so the fact they lost 2 years ago, they don't care about this pageantry. They don't want to do it. They want to just play the game, which I understand. But the Chiefs, they're okay. They've been talked about all year long. They're used to being put on the forefront in every single conversation. This was just another night, a night of celebration for Kansas City for a lot of these guys. I think the Chiefs players really enjoyed it, and I think we got a lot of in-depth answers, almost more so from Kansas City.
Right. So I would love to ask you, I want to ask you about Patrick Mahomes' legacy. When he wins this on Sunday, where would you rank Patrick Mahomes in the echelon of quarterbacks? Would you say he's like a top 10, top 5, top 3?
He's already top 3, and I think he's already second. I think it's Tom Brady, it's Patrick. If you want to say, let's say Joe Montana, if you want to throw him in that mix for your top 3, that's cool. I entertain it. I think that's probably the top 3 I would go with. It's so hard because Dan Marino was so talented, so good, has the numbers, but no rings.
Right.
You look at a guy like maybe Troy Aikman or Terry Bradshaw, a little different era for Bradshaw, has the rings, has some of the stats for the era, but it's just a little difficult era adjusted. Well, Patrick already has 3 Super Bowls. If he wins, he now has 4. He will have the three-peat. I think already he's in the top 3. If he wins, he's clearly number 2. And the only guy he's chasing is Tom Brady. Now, what makes it difficult is Tom Brady and Patrick went head-to-head twice in the playoffs.
Right.
I know a lot of Chiefs fans, myself included, I think it's unfair to always – first year they faced off, that was Patrick's first year starting. They didn't get the ball in overtime. They lost. Tom Brady fans will use that against him.
Right.
Okay. Tampa Bay game. The Chiefs' offensive line, I hate excuses.
Right.
Everyone has excuses.
Yeah.
But they were decimated.
Right.
Patrick ran for his life. He loses. Tom Brady wins. Tom Brady 2-0 against Patrick in the playoffs.
Right.
So there's this tough area to try and answer because does he have to get to the same amount of Super Bowls as Tom Brady?
Right.
Is it going to be he has enough in the statistics and the efficiency numbers? Does that push him across the finish line? Does it even matter if he passes Tom Brady by even 1? Because will they say, well, Tom Brady beat him in a Super Bowl. It's such a hard line. I'm not a huge fan of the who's the GOAT.
Right.
That's not a conversation because I think at times we get so wrapped up in it, Malcolm, that we lose track of we're watching greatness unfold right in front of us.
I feel like for me, Sterling, as a fan and as a contributor with Fanside, I mean, it's just we need to enjoy greatness. It's like we're witnessing history. It's never been done before. So I think we as media need to just enjoy greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do need to enjoy greatness. Speaking of greatness, what about you the past year? I haven't seen you in a year. It's been too long. every once in a while we'll send a little text back and forth. But
Right.
what has the past year been like for Malcom?
I mean, for me, Sterling, it's been unbelievable. I mean, I've been going to football games all season long. I've been going to Buccaneer games all season. I mean,
wow.
it's been so surreal.
How do you turn into a Bucs fan?
Yeah, I'm a Bucs fan.
Wow.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a true Buccaneers fan, and I love their organization and what they do and things like that. So I just love what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just like the Chiefs. You know, I love the organization as well, and I would love to go to a Chiefs game. I mean, I've never been to Arrowhead
You
yet.
were supposed to hit me up for that,
Yeah.
Malcom. Okay, I'm just saying, let it be known.
Yeah.
After we left Radio Row last year, I said, hey, Malcom, you hit me up. We'll try and find a way. We'll go to a Chiefs game. Did Malcom ever text me about that?
Nope.
I think he texted me a happy birthday, though, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did.
Getting a birthday text from Malcom
But
was
year, this coming season, definitely, I'm going to hit you up for going to a Chiefs game because I want to see Arrowhead Stadium. I hear it's an amazing stadium to be at, and it's just the KC atmosphere is just amazing. So I'm definitely going to hit you up this year.
It will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like this whole week's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
Just like how last year is going to be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to seeing Will Hernandez right now, so looking forward
he's got a great mustache. They're getting ready at this moment. Hunter's doing a great job behind the scenes getting microphones set
Hunter's
up. See, for me, I like seafood too. Seafood, I eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's kind of the diet I'm on right now.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to have some guys joining us right now, two players with phenomenal mustaches.
Yeah, we're digging the mustaches.
Absolutely incredible right here.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like you put my mustache to shame. We're here to empower mustaches.
I love that.
I think we're here to empower mustaches. Will Hernandez is joining us.
Sir, appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing great. It's my clone Alex, by the way.
What's going on, guys?
Is that a real mustache, Alex?
No.
That one looks fake. Okay. I was like, Will's is real. Yeah. Alex's is fake. And it was confusing here. I was like, is that his brother? Is this your brother?
No, he's actually my boy. We were college roommates, and we were actually played on the same team together.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were moving folks around in college?
Yeah.
He's
actually a D lineman, so we were trying to move each other.
Nice.
Who had the better end of the stick typically?
Normally, I would say me, but the one time that he did get me really bad, it was in front of the whole stadium.
Yeah.
I only got him in practice when no one was around, but then he got me when it mattered. So.
Well, Will, Alex, thank you for joining. I am Sterling. This is Malcom right here. First and foremost, I know you're here with GoDaddy. What all are you doing here?
Yeah, so the biggest reason biggest question everybody has is why are we dressed up the same? Why are we looking the same? So we've been blessed to be partnered with GoDaddy, and they have this new AI program coming out called Arrow. And what Arrow does is they help any small business start up through helping them build a website, a logo, getting them connected with the right people. And part of their new AI package includes being able to create an avatar that can do a lot of the work that you would have to do.
Yeah.
So it's like literally a digital copy of you, which is why he's here.
Yeah.
To show
That's
people
great.
that you could do that.
How'd you get the fake mustache, by the way? That is very realistic.
Man, they just called me up, they put it on, and I'm just a GoDaddy clone over here.
He's only programmed to say certain things.
Only
guys.
certain
so
things.
Don't try to get any personality questions out of him.
I love rocking these glasses, by the way. Thank you.
These are so cool, man. Walton Goggins here, founder of these, also works with GoDaddy. GoDaddy helped him start up his website for these as well.
These are phenomenal. I love it. This with the mustache, I feel like I need to go skiing or something. I need to really.
We need to do something.
We need to do something cool.
Yes.
I'll be in touch. Okay, Will. We'll be in touch.
Hey, Will, I would love to ask you. You play offensive lineman in the NFL. What's one thing that fans don't get a lot of appreciation for? As you play that position. Share a little bit on that.
Yeah. So talking about offensive line specifically, a lot of people don't really know who we are, don't really know what we do, but offensive line is. I like to compare it to a gear system, to gears. One doesn't work without the other. We all need to work together. A lot of people do know that football is an ultimate team sport, but they don't realize that offensive line, because there's 5 of us, it's the game within the game. So we're a tight-knit group that need to work together for things to work the way they should in football.
When it comes down to some of the nuances, let's talk about, quarterback trying to call out protections. I think one that really stands out, we do a lot with Kansas City here, that Chiefs-Bills, that final play. The Bills' offensive line, Josh Allen, they thought they put protection to the left. What goes behind the scenes when you're calling out protections? Is it the center? Is it the right guard? Is it the quarterback? How's that kind of breakdown happen?
So to even further answer your question as well, another thing that a lot of people don't know is usually the center is the smartest guy on the offensive line because he's usually the one in charge to call out protections, to get people in the right places. Sometimes he has the power to change the way protections are being blocked. A lot of the times it's the quarterback managing the entire thing. Teams handle it differently. But speaking offensive line only, the center is the guy who makes all those calls. And you just said it, just goes to show how important offensive line being on the same page is, because things like that happen with that Bills game.
I would love for you to talk about the transition from college to the NFL. What was that transition like for you as an offensive lineman when you played in college to the NFL? Share a little bit on that.
Generally, the move from college to the NFL is big no matter where you go. But for me, it was a little bit bigger than that because I came from a non-Power 5 conference school. I went to UTEP, El Paso, Texas. So for me, I only played about 1, maybe 2 games a year against top-level competition. So when I went to the NFL, that one game that I look forward to all season, when we played Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, all those big-time schools, now was my life every single snap. So I went from 1 game a year to every single snap. So to me, the transition was big. It was big level of competition. The difference was huge, and I needed to adapt quick, and I needed to get with the program real fast.
Your story's really cool. You quit football at one point in high school, helped work with your dad's company, right? Then you came back, 0-star recruit, and then now here you are in the NFL, having a nice long career. What was that like for you, just the entire storyline, because it's very unique? It's not a 5-star guy.
So it just goes to show, that whenever you truly want to do something in this life, the process is just the process. Doesn't mean that you have to abide by every single little thing. You don't have to have gone to these hundreds of camps as a kid and got invited to the Army, combine and all these different kind of games to be able to get noticed. It really makes a difference on how you play your last 2 seasons in high school. Obviously, all seasons are important.
Sure.
But if you really want to get to that next level, which is college, and then from college to the NFL, your tape is your breathing, living resume. That's what gets you to the next level. Can you adapt quickly and learn quickly? Can you make a mistake? It's not wrong to make a mistake, because every single player in the NFL makes a mistake during the game. But can you learn from it, and can you not have it happen again? Those are the key things that teams, coaches look for in players. And, my story, you said it, I quit because of personal reasons, and I was trying to help out my family and all that. But I saw the bigger picture and all that, and I said, you know what? I didn't get a head start like a lot of these other players. High school was the first time I've ever put on pads. And now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to complain and say, this is my first year playing, blah, 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 or are you just going to adapt quickly, make something happen, and play at the level that you should? And that's what I chose to do.
And it was construction, correct?
Yeah.
But does that help? And I always wonder, there's always guys, offensive line from Nebraska. There was I grew up on a farm, just hauling bay, right? Just
best training you'll ever have as an offensive lineman.
Construction, you're sitting there I'm hanging drywall. Right. Here you go.
Exactly, same exact thing, just different, same concept, different professions, whatever. But people don't realize, the NFL is really flashy, cool uniforms, cool weight rooms, all that. That's all cool. But what really sets you up to be a legit good football player is all that dirty work, all that groundwork that you do. There's nothing wrong with working a hard job, doing things. A lot of these really good players, they admitted that, when they were small, when they were young, they would, there were, I forgot who it was. There was a receiver that said all he did was lay brick with his dad, with his pops growing up.
Wow.
And he had some of the strongest hands, and that's why he was so good. I forgot which player it was, but it was, I think, a Hall of Famer or something. And he admitted that one of the reasons why he was so good with his hands and caught everything that came his way is because he used to lay brick out with his dad. His pops would toss him the brick, and he would catch it, cement it, put it on.
Wow.
You know, it's that kind of work ethic that gets you to be, in my opinion, one of the best.
Yeah. Malcolm?
Yeah. I want to ask you one final question before we let you guys go. If you had advice for athletes that want to pursue a football career, what would you tell them?
I would say anything that revolves football, anything that has anything to do with football, do it. Make football your entire life. So if you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to eat, you have to eat breakfast, right?
Right.
Make sure that meal is geared towards football. Mm-hmm. When you're going to go to sleep, you got to go to sleep at some point. Make sure you set your hours geared towards football. Make sure that when you decide that you want to have fun and you want to do something, make sure that fun is geared towards football. So if you want to be a football player, make everything around you be somehow involved with football. You can't just go and show up to practice and show up to games and then go home and be a completely different person and go and do all this stuff that's not going to help for football. You know, that's a part-time mentality. Right. Very hard for things to get done that way. I would say revolve your life around football.
It's awesome. Will Hernandez,
Alex, thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you guys having me.
I am a little sad. I had a bolo tie on yesterday. I feel like you would have appreciated the bolo tie.
Bro, I have a bolo tie with a scorpion, a dead scorpion in it that glows in the dark. So I definitely appreciate things like that.
We would be friends. We would be friends. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Will Hernandez right there. Alex with Go Daddy. Again, offensive linemen have maybe the biggest hands of all time. Just engulfing my hand. Great mustache as well. Malcolm, a lot of fun, right? Great way to start off
that was
Radio
great.
Row
That was
right
wonderful.
Here.
Yeah. Great way to start it. And next up, we got Randy Grimes.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait for him.
Talking with offensive linemen is so much fun because I don't think they always get the credit they deserve.
And they don't also get the love that that they should, from a fan perspective either.
It's just very, very intriguing to see their story. Again, a guy like Will.
Yeah.
You know, at one point quitting, as he was talking about, quitting football.
Right.
Goes back.
Yep.
0-star recruit. Mm-hmm. Goes to UTEP.
Yep. And
now has had a nice, long career in the NFL after being actually a second-round draft pick in 2018. But, again, goes to show you the power of hard work.
Sterling, I would love to ask you, if you were playing football, what position would you play?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I kicker? I don't know. I don't – look at this. This is not the NFL build, Malcolm. If I could probably pick one, turn injuries off, okay? Quarterback's the obvious one because, let's be real, that's where the money's at, right?
Right.
But
that's where all the money is.
I think wide receiver. I'd love to play wide receiver or even cornerback. I love trying to high point the ball. Believe it or not, Malcolm, I can get up.
Of course
I got some ups in me. I feel like cornerback.
You got some hops. I can tell you got hops, Sterling. I can tell.
Thank you. But see, I'm more like a Marcus Peters type. I'm not going to tackle. I'm just going to go for the ball, Malcolm. I'm just going to try and intercept it. If I don't catch it, well, he's picking up the first down.
Absolutely, sir. For me, I would love to be either running back or cornerback. Just getting after the defensive, after the defense and all that stuff like that. That'd be my position. I love playing the cornerback position, running back, just run the football between the trenches, and just. We got Randy Grimes coming up right now.
I would thrive. Yeah. You'd be so good at getting after the quarterback, Malcolm.
Absolutely, Sterling.
You would be incredible.
Randy Grimes is here now, Sterling.
Randy Grimes, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, is getting ready to join us. Great story coming up right here.
How you doing, Randy?
Yo, what's up, guys? How are y'all?
How you guys doing?
It's been a whole year.
It's been a whole year. Hi.
Good meeting you guys again.
Heather and Randy Grimes. Got those microphones right.
Yeah.
It might help just a little bit.
Yeah. So
where are we looking at?
We're looking over yonder.
We're looking at over yonder, guys.
Again, Randy Grimes is our guest. Athletes in Recovery and Serenity Light Recovery, as well as Heather joining us right here. Malcolm.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, what's up?
I would love to ask you. You played 10 seasons in the NFL for
Right.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
What was that like in your playing days, and who did you love playing with the most?
Oh my God! Well, I had 5 head coaches in 10 years, so
Right.
that explains a lot about the Bucs in the '80s and early '90s. I had 12 different quarterbacks and 3 different general managers. But, the cool thing is I got to play with a lot of great Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
Leroy Selman, Steve Young.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Steve Young came through there for a year. The fondest was, of course, Steve DeBerg. That guy was always joking, always. That's probably why
There you
we
go,
never.
Chief right there, Steve DeBerg.
Steve Berg right there, right?
Probably why we didn't win any games. We were joking around too much. But, Vinny came in. Vinny was my quarterback the last 4 years, and, of course, he was a great athlete. That guy had a long career.
Vinny Testaverde
Oh,
used to
my
play at the
God,
University of Miami.
18, 19
Yeah.
years that guy played?
Yeah, he did.
And those are the highlights of my career as the guys that I played with, because I certainly didn't have any in the win column. My best year was 6-10.
Oh, man.
Out of 10 years, yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah, a couple 2 and
That was tough.
14.
But you at least have the creamsicle jerseys to
Oh, yeah,
hold you over,
yeah.
right?
Those are the best.
Do you like them now?
Do you like
Did you
them
hate
now?
them at the
Oh,
time?
yeah, I still love you. Everything I have is creamsicle, so that's all I'm used to.
I do want to ask you, Randy, because you have such a fascinating story, obviously, with your
Thank you.
post-playing career. For those that don't know, I love this conversation every single year with you. Can you kind of tell folks a little bit about that backstory
Right.
and where you're at right now?
Well, and my story begins with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I became addicted to opiates. I was that guy willing to do whatever I had to stay out on the field. And I never intended it to turn into an addiction, but it did. And when I left the game, I didn't transition well. When I wasn't Randy Grimes, the football player, anymore, I already had this raging addiction going. And now the fact that I don't have the uniform or the playbook or the itinerary, the identity, that was throwing gas on an already raging dumpster fire, which was my addiction. And it lasted another 20 years. I put my family through hell. And, I wrote a book about it, as a matter of fact, off center. But, I'm not special. I'm not, there's nothing about me that Heather didn't have to do, And the work that I do now, I learned early in my recovery that you got to give it away in order to keep it. And I knew there was a lot of guys out there just like me struggling, suffering in silence, and it was either because of guilt, shame, ego, pride, whatever it was. It kept them from raising their hand. And so I started going out, sharing my story, and former NFL players, guys I played with and against, started coming out of the woodwork. And that's where Heather comes in, because her facility down there, we work with those athletes. And people ask me all the time what I miss most about the game, and it's not the game. I miss the locker room and that camaraderie.
Yeah, Heather, so are you guys based out of Tampa Bay? I know, Serenity Light Recovery, so you've been a big help
we're based out
here.
of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yes, but we are global when it comes to recovery.
So,
right?
so what's kind of the backstory here? How did the partnership form with you guys?
Well, I met Randy a few years ago, and he was sharing his story, and it was so profound and inspiring, because that was the first time I saw a incredible being stand up, an athlete, share his story, so bold and so brave, and really broke the silence for so many. Yeah. And I created Serenity Light Recovery in 2014, and we had worked with each other through the years, and then he said, let's do this thing together and really bring wellness to these players.
Yeah.
So
I would love to ask you both, if you had advice for athletes that are struggling today with mental health, what advice would you give them?
That there's no guilt, there's no shame involved with raising your hand. But if you don't raise your hand, this is not going to turn out well. It's addiction is a dark place, and you don't have to go there. That's the reason we do what we do. We speak about what we speak about, is to keep other people from hitting those bottoms that we had to hit. But it's just so we think we've come a long way. We think that the stigma doesn't exist anymore that keeps people from raising their hand, but it does.
Yeah.
And this is a disease, and there's a lot of shame involved. Families are ashamed, and they're the ones that are scared to raise their hand and ask for help also.
Yeah.
And so that's what we tell as many people. We get the word out there the best we can, and then places like Serenity Light, that's how we help people.
Yeah. Randy, this is your 14th year?
16th
year on Radio Row?
On Radio Row.
First off, are you getting tired of Kansas City now? Are you getting sick of them? You're like, someone else from the AFC, please.
I won't say. But yeah. They should spread the wealth around a little bit, you know?
Just a little bit?
Just a little
but
bit.
At least let them get the three-peat, right?
Right.
I guess, again, Buccaneers, you're back in the day, you're like, come on, give them a chance, right? Give the Bucs a chance. Throw them in there.
And we had our shot, and we won. So,
I know.
Don't forget that.
No,
okay?
we block it out. It's like a closer in baseball. All the bad
just
stuff.
An ugly weekend.
You just
right?
throw it away.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Just rolling me around.
You don't think about it that much. I want to ask you guys about. I want to ask you about Sunday's game. With the Chiefs and the Eagles. How do you see this? How do you see this matchup, Randy? And who's your X factor?
Well, I see the matchup as being won in the trenches. I think whoever's offensive line, defensive line, whoever wins those battles, that's who's going to win the game. Who can put pressure on who. But I got to tell you guys, I'm an NFC guy, so I got to stick with my Eagles. And I'm saying 24-21, but we'll see.
It's tough but fair.
It's tough.
I don't know how much you watch the current NFL landscape, or if you even care that much about Sinners specifically.
Oh, that's all I watch is interior play.
I figured you did. But with Kansas City, with Joe Tooney, with what he's done going from left guard to left tackle, I'd love to get your thoughts on how difficult that really is for a guy like Joe, and then obviously Creed Humphrey being such a phenomenal center, one of the best in the NFL. Love to get your thoughts on the Chiefs.
Well, the fact that he's a great athlete is why he can make that transition so well, because a lot of guys can't. I could never go out there and play left or right tackle.
Right.
And it takes a big man too, somebody with good feet and good athleticism. As far as the center is concerned, that's the most important position on the field. That's the quarterback of the offensive line. So, the Chiefs probably have the better offensive line, but Philly's line's good too.
Very good.
So it's going to be a matter of who's got the better defensive line, who can stay healthy during the game.
Right. Tampa Bay. Of course, the Tampa Bay guy bringing up offensive line health. Of course.
If you didn't play football, what sport would you have played, and why?
Baseball. I'd been a catcher. Yeah. I
could see
that was my jam.
Yeah, I could see that right there.
I loved baseball and I loved playing catcher, but that didn't work out. I got too fat, and my knees got too bad. I couldn't squat anymore.
Well, just stand. Get your chair back there, huh? It'll be like a whiff ball. Just
with a bucket of balls.
Randy Grimes and Heather is our guest right here. Before we let you go, just a quick question again with the offensive line, because I do find this pretty fascinating. The final play against the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs defensively just befuddled them, right? Just when it comes to setting protections between the center and the quarterback, what does that really look like on a play-to-play basis? Because I think there's a lot more that goes into the offensive line than people really think.
Well, it's the difference in playing tackle and playing center. You got to really keep that pocket from collapsing, so whoever can step up, whether it's Mahomes or
Hurts.
Yeah, you gotta be able to step up in the pocket. So, all of them are important. I see a lot of guards getting beat right off the bat, and that collapses the pocket real quick. But you're supposed to work that stuff out during the week. You're supposed to have a back helping, or you're supposed to be sliding to the point of the better pass rushers.
Yeah.
And you got to prepare and game plan for that stuff. So. And I'm sure they will.
They got 2 weeks now. They got 2 weeks.
These guys aren't rookies,
No. Yeah. They've been around the block a time or two. Randy Grimes, make sure you go to www.proathletesinrecovery.org. Also, make sure you check out Heather at www.serenitylightrecovery.com. Also, get Randy's book, Off Center, right there.
Off Center. Get incredible. Buy it. I'm a starving author.
Centers are now coming up with books. You got Tim Grunard, former Chief, coming out with a book. Centers are the new quarterback. Some are saying.
Oh, we always were.
Some are saying.
You're just now realizing that? See, that's the problem. We always were.
I've said for a long time, bring out fantasy football for offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm trying to trademark this. Not actually, I don't know how trademarks work, but I think it'd be fun.
You're right.
Offensive line fantasy football. Thanks, guys.
Thanks guys, so much.
Thank
you very much.
Love the yearly tradition.
They've got rankings now.
Yeah.
They have they have pro football. They have pro football focus
great,
now.
Randy.
Where they have all these different rankings for each position now.
Oh, thanks guys.
Thanks Randy.
Appreciate
so much. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather. If you couldn't tell right there, Randy was talking about PFF in the background right there, saying, thank goodness we didn't have PFF rankings back when I was playing. Very funny. Always a nice yearly tradition with Randy Grimes. Always a lot of fun.
Good. How are you?
Doing this right now with Joe Lamar. Joe Lamar. Joe.
Hello, how are you guys?
How you doing,
Good.
Joe?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
I know you were a Paralympic champion in 1992.
Yes, back in the Barcelona, Spain, in the 400-meter run.
That's
You
incredible.
know,
incredible.
one of the first Blade runners out there.
Wow. I would love to know
Yes.
more about your story, your background, all this, Joe. Can you
Okay.
can you lay it out for everyone?
Oh
here?
boy.
Yeah.
To go and make it short and sweet, you know, I was a kid that had a tumor in my foot. It ended up going and leading to the amputation of my foot. Doctors were telling me at the time when I was a kid that I'd have a hard time walking, never mind running. Wow. So what did I decide to do? I decided to run cross country, indoor and outdoor track at my high school. You know, knowing that the tumor had resurfaced my junior year in high school, doctors told me I'd have to have the foot amputated. Was able to get through a couple of seasons, ended up becoming New England champ indoors in the mile, and then literally 3 weeks later having the foot amputated.
Did you do it to almost prove them wrong? Was there a part of you?
Pretty much as a kid, you
Yeah,
know,
it's-
you're like, who are you to tell me that, you know, you're going to take away sports from me or tell me that I can't do something when I'm a kid?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it was to, you know, prove the doctor wrong. And, you know, I went back to him afterwards and said, you know, look at everything that I accomplished, you know, and they thought I'd have a hard time, you know, walking, never mind running, because I had the toe next to my big toe amputated in middle school.
Wow.
I
Yep.
would love to ask you, Joe, who were your role models growing up, and talk about what it entails to be a Blade runner,
Yep.
you know, as you're competing.
Yeah, so role models growing up, I enjoyed the sport of track and field. So Jackie Joyner-Kersee, you know, hero of mine and everything for all that she accomplished, I'd say is my number one. And then being a Blade runner took a lot of time, a lot of work, you know, a lot of walking actually, just getting used to being in the prosthetic itself. And it was just many hours of literally walking the line on the track to get your balance and everything else back in form. A lot of recording, videotaping and everything to make sure that things are going and you're running smooth. Yeah, so a lot of work, just as in any other sport.
How fulfilling is it to be such a success story for a lot of people? Again, that's such a hard age for that to happen.
Oh,
in
yeah.
middle school, high school, I'd have to imagine that's probably about the hardest age for that to happen.
I'd say, yep.
But knowing that there are other people who look up to you and say, hey, if he did it, I could do this. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's tremendous, and that's what I do now. I coach athletes for Achilles International. You know, we're a nonprofit with we are international, and we're the leading, you know, nonprofit in adaptive running.
Yeah.
You know, and any and all athletes of all abilities are welcome to come out, walk, run, and roll with us, and we help provide them the equipment. So it's my way to give back, you know, and it's tremendous to know that I can see the next generation getting better and improving, and know that I'm able to share my story of what I've gone through so that they know that they're not in it alone.
Do you have a favorite quote, you know, that you go by, that you say, okay, you know, these are my principles. This is what I'm gonna live by. Do you have a favorite quote you'd like to share?
So I go by the 6 C's to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Courage, commitment, character, class, confidence, and the most important, communication.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
what all sports you do now? I know you do wheelchair softball right now.
Yes.
Do you do any wheelchair football at all?
Yes, I actually play wheelchair football for the New England Patriots.
That's incredible.
That's
Okay,
incredible.
so how many organizations? Because I actually played golf with a guy who played for the wheelchair Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes,
actually.
nice. Nice.
Great guy.
Who was it?
Oh my gosh, I'm
Oh.
drawing blanking his name. I met him. I golfed with him actually.
Yes.
It was very cool to see. I've never seen anything like that before.
All right.
He had a wheelchair.
Yes.
It sits him up in it, and he's able to then. Great golfer too. Phenomenal
Nice.
guy. It was him and his wife. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. I'm sorry. I met you one time. We played Babcock Ranch. Please tell me. I'll text my dad. He probably knows his name. Great guy. But he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
wheelchair
Football team. Yep.
How many organizations have that? What's that kind of?
So I believe we
like?
have 16 teams now in the league,
Okay.
and it's phenomenal. Yesterday they just had the wheelchair Veterans All-Star game in which my teammate was in it. He's actually right over there. He was
Nice.
the winning quarterback for the team, and they went into double overtime, and his team won. The Stars won 20-19.
Wow.
So
Close.
unbelievable game. And again, it's sports. Everybody
Yes.
can go and participate, find a way to adapt, to get involved.
How many broken fingers have you had from that? Because I was talking to him about it because I didn't know 100% of all the rules.
Yep.
And he was talking about, oh no, we do kickoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like old school kickoffs.
It's crash up derby.
It's more dangerous than the current NFL kickoffs.
Yes.
And because he was talking, he's like, oh yeah, I've broken so many fingers because you're going down.
Oh, yeah. I haven't broken any fingers in football. I have in softball.
Seriously?
Wheelchair softball I have. I've had a collision at second base in which, the second baseman wanted to try to get me out, but he just got run over.
Well, because the adrenaline and the will to win never goes away.
No.
It's like me in softball now. I mean, I'm 30, and you think, okay, maybe it goes away. I'm playing rec basketball, and nothing matters. It's not the NBA. Well, I'm still going to try and give someone some buckets.
Exactly.
And now you add in a wheelchair, a piece of metal that is very heavy duty.
For sure.
So I'm shocked at the physicality of this.
But it's just like any other sport. There's contact in football, in regular football.
Yeah.
We have contact in wheelchair football.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
awesome.
so it's the same, and we'd love to have any current players come out and try with us and see how they do in wheelchair football. It'll go and give them a different perspective of how hard our sport is, though.
Yeah.
I would
That's why I
love for
bring
you
that
to
up.
talk about what does talk about the regimen that you guys do when it comes to wheelchair football and what that takes.
We have workouts 2 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
We go usually on a Wednesday night and Sunday, and we're practicing for 3 hours and doing whatever the coaches tell us to do. We get done. Working offense, defense, working chair skills. Those are the things, just like in regular football, that you need to get done to be good.
Yeah.
Joe Lamar, Paralympic champion, 1992, Barcelona, Spain. By the way, everyone can go to, I pulled up right here, AchillesInternational.org, correct?
Yes,
And
yes.
you are the Boston International
Chapter lead. Yes, so any and all athletes with any type of disabilities looking to go out and want to compete in really any sport, they can come up to me. But if they're looking to come out to walk, run, or roll, love to have them.
Love that. Joe, really
thank you
appreciate it.
so much. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys. Appreciate everything you guys are doing as well. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you,
you
Joe,
too.
so much.
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure, Joe.
Very cool. What's that? I am a KC guy right here. You a Boston guy? Of course he's a Boston guy.
Of course he's a Boston guy.
Share the picture of yesterday at the festivities.
Joe is showing us because I'm wearing a page. Joe!
Joe, that's
Travis
amazing.
Kelce. So
Travis
we're
Kelce
doing this
right
thing
there.
live right here. Show that to the camera right there. We're still
That's
going live.
incredible.
This is going to be awesome. So Joe is wearing a Patriots jersey, and Travis Kelce is staring down Joe. And just right there.
That's amazing.
Justin Reed.
That's
Travis
impressive.
Kelce. It's a bold move of Joe to wear a Patriots jersey.
It's my own personal jersey.
It's your
It's your personal
his-
jersey.
Well, then you have to wear it, Joe.
Right.
You got to wear it.
You got to wear it, Joe.
Absolutely,
You got to represent.
Hey, appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it, Joe.
You as well.
You as well. Thanks, Joe.
Again, for those that did not see, it was Joe Lamar. He was wearing a Patriots jersey. It's his own wheelchair football.
His own
Patriots
personalized
jersey.
jersey, too, no less, Sterling.
But you see Travis Kelce and Justin Reed looking over.
That's
little stank eye.
Yeah,
to the
that was
Patriots jersey.
That was amazing. Just showing it to the camera. That was awesome.
All right, so what we're going to do here, Malcolm, this was a nice little introduction into Radio Row for the week, correct?
Yep.
So we're going to take a break. Looks like Stacking the Box is going to come back around 2 o'clock. Boom. Just got confirmation. Arrowhead Addict Stacking the Box combo starting back up at 1. About 40 minutes or so. So, Malcolm, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
Does that work for you?
That works for me,
I'll
Sterling.
give you a break. I'll let you rest the golden vocals.
Yeah, let's rest our golden vocals, indeed.
All right, well, we'll take a break. Come back on right here, Stacking the Box, right here live on Radio Row.